That's right, folks. The day has come to fire up the Maxent 9-frame extractor. I'll be using that today. I got my uncapping station set up with my needle roller that worked fantastically last year in preserving a lot of the comb. It just punctured the cells so the honey can flow out. And we got our honey supers over here ready to go. All right, let's get started. Been looking forward to this day for quite some time. Let's have fun and extract some honey. And this machine is absolutely fantastic. Used it for the first time last year. It worked flawlessly. So if you don't know about Maxent, or if you don't have any of their products, I would highly encourage you to look into them. All right, let's grab a frame and get started. Got a bee or two found their way into the honey super, even though I used the fume board, which worked fantastically. So same thing as last year. Had pretty good success with the needle roller here. Just kind of go back and forth, up and down, back and forth. Seems to do a pretty good job. Just do that on both sides. You really just want to puncture all the cells. It's a very satisfying sound too. And it doesn't really waste a lot of honey from cutting off the cappings with a knife. All right, let's grab another one. Same thing. Side's not the best, but there's still honey in there. It's delicious. All right, I'll do a few more frames off camera, fill up the honey extractor, and then show you all that in work. All right, folks, we have 6 frames loaded up in the extractor. Let's apply power. Spin them for a few minutes at about 50%, and then increase the power to about 70-80%, and then eventually to 100. As you can see, the extractor's got a little bit of a wobble to it right now, which is totally normal. Experienced the same thing last year. But once more honey starts to get slung out of the frames, we can increase the power as the frames become lighter. There we go. That's what you want to see right there. Alright, the frames have been spinning for a few minutes now. Just wanted to talk about the extractor. So again, this is the Maxent Model 3100P for power, which is, in my opinion, a better option than the hand crank if you have a little bit of money to spend. It's an investment in your beekeeping future. So I purchased it with the lathe kit. However, these wheels are a modification I made thanks to Harbor Freight. Picked them up. I think I may have spent 20 bucks total for the wheels and the hardware from Lowe's. So if you watched last year's harvest video, you will see this thing wobble and practically walk across the floor. So I wanted to show you this. So if we turn this up to 100%, which I was not exactly able to achieve last year, it does have a little wobble, which is relatively normal for extractors. However, I believe the wheels give it enough play to where it's not trying to walk across the garage. So just something to keep in mind if you have this extractor with the lathe kit. For another 20 to maybe 30 bucks tops, you can pick up some wheels, which obviously makes it easy to move around, but it really prevents it from trying to walk across the floor. All right, just removed the last of the frames. I don't know if you can tell or not, but there is a decent amount of honey collected at the bottom of the extractor. So time for the moment of truth. There we go. We let our honey filter through a 400 micron filter. That does create a little controversy with folks, but if you do your research, you will find out the 400 micron filters help retain a lot of the pollen and filter out some things like that there. I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like a bee leg, which most folks don't really want in their honey. All right, that does it for this year. Taking the bracket off, actually it's over there, that holds the motor, is very easy. And then the basket simply lifts out. There is a bearing underneath the very bottom there. You want to be aware of that, but I'm gonna wheel this out into the driveway and let the bees clean it up and do their thing. Hopefully they find it here in the next 30 minutes or so I can shoot a quick video and show you all what that looks like. Let's go take a look at the extractor, the baskets, the filter, and the needle roller, just to see if the bees are cleaning them up, and doesn't really look like they found it yet. There's a few over there, but nothing like in the past. All right, let's go check on some of the supers that I left over in the yard. See if the bees found those yet. All right, not as much activity as I thought I would see on some of the supers. They've been out here for probably close to an hour. There's a few bees checking them out, getting some honey that's left on them and everything. But I'm gonna move them back to the bee yard and add them to hives number 4 and 5 to give them a little bit of a boost, since these supers already have drawn comb. There is some remnants of honey and some pollen probably left in the frames. And since those hives they're not really struggling, but they've had a difficult time this year. So this should encourage the queen to move up into these boxes again, since they have drawn comb. And hopefully those colonies will expand their brood nest a little quicker than if I added medium boxes with brand new foundation. All right, here it is the next day. I ended up moving the extractor off the porch over into the side yard here, and the bees have definitely found it, and we'll have this cleaned up probably by the end of the day. Same thing with the basket and the filter and a queen excluder and everything. And if you don't have a hot water source close to where you plan on doing your cleanup, here's a quick tip. If you just lay out your hose, fill it with water, and let the sun do the work, the sun will heat up the water enough to where when you go to spray your extractor and your other equipment that has honey residue on it from your extraction,
it will make short work of your cleanup job.
All right, that does it for this year. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully y'all subscribe and enjoyed our 2020 honey harvest video. Again, if you are in or around the Jacksonville, North Carolina area, just contact us through social media if you're interested in purchasing some honey. You can make an appointment on Instagram, through Facebook, or through Square, in addition to Google Maps. So there's quite a few ways to get a hold of us and make an appointment to purchase some honey. All right, thanks again, everybody.